Remembrance of Anne Feeney, we have Nick Cromweedy, who is a member of our board.
Hi, as mentioned, my name is Nick Cromweedy. I'm also a musician. Anne Feeney was a great inspiration on me in my life, and I prepared a little speech, but first I would like to just show off some memorabilia here. For those of you that have never met Anne, she's actually performed here before. This is Anne Feeney. She's from Pittsburgh. She's a labor, well, I would call her an agitator. She would perform on picket lines. And a veteran board member of the museum board, Nelson Gurman, sitting right over here. He's known her for about 20 years. He actually had the pleasure of meeting her at a Deb's banquet in Terre Haute, Indiana. This is Nelson. I'm going to give these back to him after I'm done speaking. So, overall today we're gathered here for Mother Jones and the work she did for miners in her time and the groundwork she laid out for the development of future unions. We were all here today to revere and respect Mother Jones for her work, but we're also here to honor one of our own labor activists and award-winning musician, Anne Feeney. She passed away on February 3rd this year, a victim of the COVID-19 health crisis. We have a bench right there dedicated to Anne Feeney. Directly in front of that bench, you'll notice the headstone. It's the only headstone, I believe it's the only headstone in this entire cemetery that's actually facing the monument. And I know I mentioned award-winning, I'll get to that in a minute. And she was from Pittsburgh, grew up in the 60s, watching her grandfather, also a union organizer, travel all around to play his violin, entertaining those on the picket lines, and in other ways, using his music to service labor causes. She purchased her first guitar in 1967 and graduated high school in 68. Then by 69, she was playing Phil Oakes songs at anti-war rallies already. In 72, she co-founded the Pittsburgh Action Against Rape, which is still, to this day, actively helping provide services to rape victims in Pittsburgh. She was in college at this time in 72, and she graduated in 74 at the University of Pittsburgh. Then in 78, she graduated law school and went on to practice law for 12 years. But I'm not here to talk about that. What I want to tell you about is the effect she had on me myself. We met only once, and it was a telephonic conversation. Years ago, a group of friends and I decided we were going to put on a show in or around Mount Olive, but the venue fell through. As happens in show business all the time, just one little piece falls out of place and the whole thing goes on. But I had the opportunity of speaking to Anne Feeney about exactly this. It was going to be a Mother Jones Music Festival. All the proceeds were going to be donated to the city to help fund the Mother Jones Museum. At the time, it had just opened. I still have the voicemail on my phone to this day, and I listen to it maybe once a year or something. It's just a quick, "Hey Nick, this is Ann. I'm calling you from Pittsburgh. I guess I'll just text you." Click. and I called her and we talked. You know, I just wanted to ask what her availability was, but we ended up talking for about 20 minutes and about just so many different topics. Her visits to Ireland, you know, all of her friends, and her blog even. There was just so much she wanted to talk about. Somebody that she had just met, and it was just fantastic. So to me, I always considered her like the female Woody Guthrie, and that in a lot of ways means she's the stronger version. Playing, going to picket lines, performing, entertaining everybody that's out there struggling. You know what the struggle I'm talking about. Anne showed me that no matter where you were in this country, there is always an injustice being silently swept under a rug. And there must be people like her, people like Woody Guthrie, Pete Seeger, Phil Oakes, etc., to sing loudly and proudly about them, to ensure that the mess stays uncovered and that rug will not be placed over that mess.
My name's Mary Ellen Deckard. We were here yesterday and dedicated Ann Feeney's resting place and honored her here. And the family wanted, they had a whole thing planned, but they didn't know about this event. So they asked me if I would come. I just want to say with our whole heart, we thank the committee for approving Ann to be here. It was her final wish to be near Mother Jones. It was a blessing to people all across the United States and even in other countries like Sweden. She always encouraged young musicians who were interested in doing the work of justice, which is not easy. She always helped them. She always mentored them. She mentored a lot of other people. Among some of her other accomplishments, she was the first president of the Pittsburgh Musicians Union that was a woman. She founded the National Organization for Women chapter in her home neighborhood of Edgewood and Swissvale. She did so many things in Pittsburgh. I can't even list them all. She did fundraisers for every organization you can imagine. She traveled across the country, back and forth, and she supported strikers on every picket line she could find. I never met anyone like her. She just loved everybody. She just really loved everybody. And especially the coal miners, and her grandfather was a coal miner. When she passed away, she was working on a book. She had done a lot of research, and she was going to write a book about William Feeney. And so this is Patrick Bennett over here. Patrick has been the facilitator of her life. He has carried her guitar. He has made sure that she had her toothbrush. He has followed her back and forth. He has served her with diligence, and he has honored her music everywhere that she played that he could get to. There's nobody like Patrick either. Patrick is very shy and quiet. So he probably isn't coming up here to talk, but he loved her very much. I cannot say enough about how she honored Mother Jones in her day-to-day life, how she wanted to be like her, how she looked up to her, and so to be laid to rest with a bench so you can go over there and sit down, or you can go over here and sit down and sit and look at Mother Jones. It was just the most amazing thing to be able to do that, to be able to put her here, because this is where she belonged. It's right in the middle of the country. It's where the coal miners are. I was so excited that you guys were all going to be here today. And bless you all. And we've got to win this struggle. We've got to just keep on fighting the struggle until it's over. Until the workers have their just treatment. So we need to pass that law. I'm a community organizer and an activist in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I would not be a community organizer and activist in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania if it wasn't for Ann Feeney. In fact, when she met me, I was just a bartender. She taught me. I didn't know there was any such a thing as a labor struggle. She taught me. She gave me a book. It was written by UE called The History of the Labor Movement. I took it home and read it. I came back the next day, having not slept a wink because I read the entire book all night long. She said, "Did you start the book yet?" And I said, "I cannot believe that people died just for fair wages. I cannot believe I didn't know this. I cannot believe they didn't teach me this in school. I read the whole book, Annie. What else do you have to read?" And she said that I was a natural organizer. And she worked with me. She made me an organizer of the Musicians Union. And I learned to sign up members. Together, Ann and I signed up more members during her reign in the Musicians Union, which is only 2 years long, than had ever been brought together into the union in any given year or any given 2-year period of that union. was just amazing. That's all I know how to tell you. And her family are all working in some way in the struggle, and her daughter is a singer-songwriter. Her name is Amy Berlin, so keep your eye out for that. You can look up Ann Feeney on YouTube. You can look up Amy Berlin on YouTube, and you can hear them singing. Keep listening, and listen to all the new young singer-songwriters, and bring them out to your events. It might cost a little bit more when you're having a dinner or something to bring one of these troubadours. But these troubadours lift the hearts of people that never heard of the union, as well as lifting the hearts of the workers. So with that, thank you very much.
Yeah.